This is Sybert signing into Red Alert Remastered on the map Africa. Up here in the top right-hand corner, as the red Germany with 10% more damage, it's ISeeMangos. And we're going to head over here to the left as the blue Soviets with 10% cheaper stuff, it's Dynamic. And then we're going to be heading kind of this way. Right here, apparently. This is the Golden Duke. He's also Soviet for 10% cheaper stuff. And now over here, which is where I was supposed to go, this is Splinter. He's the Ukraine. He gets stuff that is 10% faster. All right, heading on down south, we have Jake Wood playing as France, so allies, 10% rate of fire boost. And then over here, as the orange Soviets, this is Sasanalek. I don't know. And as the cyan Ukraine with 10% faster units, this is Highbike. And that brings us all the way down to the south as England. Yellow, it's BikeRushOwnz. And his benefit is 10% more armor. So that is the benefits for each country as they work out. We are on the map Africa. As you can tell, it is shaped much like the continent of Africa. I guess we get a little bit of, I'm not sure that that's actually how the shape of the Middle East works out with these land bridges here. But, you know, you got to make some changes for, the game. That tree was just on fire. I didn't actually realize that trees would continue burning like that. And apparently, I don't know about all trees, but you can destroy some trees. Master Leaf was talking about that, which I don't know that I've ever done. But yeah, apparently you can destroy some trees. Splinter going to be putting a little bit of pressure on Golden Duke, but up in the north, Dynamic starting to deal with Mango's invading infantry, heavy tanks, and we've seen this a lot from Dynamic. Lots of heavy tanks. Whoa, ton of dogs coming out for Highbike. He is running all over the place with them, trying to stop the invasion of Sasanalek 64. Trying to stop him from pushing in. Splinter going to be doing some good damage to Golden Duke. Golden Duke may not be able to hang out in this game for very much longer. Taking too much pressure. Harvester going for some crushes. Not quite going to be successful at that. And that may be the end. Well, maybe not. As I guess Golden Duke is going to survive for a moment longer. As Conyard got packed up, he moved away. Shroud Regrow is off, by the way, and crates are on, so something to keep in mind for this game. We do always have a little bit of randomness provided by those crates. Looks like Splinter going to be turning north to Dynamic, hunting a couple of Harvesters. Dynamic responding with lots of heavy tanks. The heavy tanks are the advantage for Dynamic, but the infantry going to be the advantage for Splinter, although the infantry are pretty much all getting crushed, which means the advantage is purely Dynamic, able to just crush and run over everything, destroying Splinter's forces. Dynamic standing strong in the north, a single V2 here to try and contest Dynamic, but the pathing is the real thing that he has to fight against. His two tanks path the wrong way, making his force a little bit weaker for a couple of seconds there, and it looks like Splinter may have angered the wrong guy. Keep in mind, down in the south, it looks like BikeRushOwnz starting to expand up north, having some fights with his neighbors, Jake Wood and Sasanalek. V2 does go down right there, and with 4 heavy tanks, he might not be able to kill Splinter right here, right now, but he's going to be able to do some nice damage. It looks like reinforcements on the way for Dynamic. Let's take a quick look over here. BikeRushOwnz slowly but surely creeping his way north. Going to be putting some pressure on his opponents in there. 4 heavy tanks still hanging around. Nice crushes by Dynamic. Going to be running in there. Kills the barracks. He's killed the war factory as well. So that's pretty much all of the production of his opponent knocked out. BikeRushOwnz sent an engineer. I'm not sure where it ended up going. Oh no. It's actually a mechanic over there, not an engineer. Refinery is now going to be the target as Splinter, who tried to put the pressure on Golden Duke, just finds himself pretty much out of luck, out of forces. Mango, on the other hand, going to be expanding out into the middle of the map, putting some pressure on Highbike, and for now, Highbike's flame turret will be able to hold the line. I don't think it will hold the line forever, though, as this Tesla coil over here by Golden Duke is keeping the edge of his area safe for now, and this has to be it for Splinter. There's the MCV. It packs up. It's trying to run away. I don't think Dynamic will really be letting that happen, as Dynamic once again pushing out early to get some fresh kills. And, well, no, he's actually going to be taking out the radar dome before chasing the MCV, although the MCV is going to be going right next to this Tesla coil if he's not careful. Golden Duke may be getting a little bit of an easy kill there. Down in the south, BikeRushOwnz has defeated Jake Wood in just a couple of moments there. Dynamic starting to push in on Golden Duke. Golden Duke's Tesla tank does go down. His MCV packs up for the second time this game at least, and it looks like the unpack of the MCV by Splinter. He's trying to reestablish himself there in Golden Duke's domain, but I think he's going to have a hard time of actually doing this. Tesla coil is nice to try and hold off these tanks, but it's not really going to be enough since your power is out, and this is too many tanks. The MCV turning north for Golden Duke, running, trying to escape at least for now. BikeRushOwnz just building a ton of medium tanks without really anyone to oppose him. He killed Jake Wood, and, I mean, he hasn't really had any trouble with Sassenach. So, okay, there's the barracks. I think it's down to just the MCV wherever it ran away to. Over here in the kind of corner on the coastline there of Africa. Golden Duke turning north, setting up a power plant, but this is in vision of Dynamic, and Shroud Regrow, as I mentioned, is off, which means you can't try and hide along the corners of the map. If your opponent has run a unit there, then they know where you are. MCV reset up for Splinter. Again, he's just trying desperately to hide, and it looks like this MCV may be running into some of the medium tanks of Mangoes. BikeRushOwnz running a Harvester into the main base of Sassa, and we'll get a couple of crushes there before leaving town. Dynamic going to be turning south, and the MCV going to be... Is it literally just gonna... Oh, no, he does turn it around at the last second there. He almost walked into nothing. He almost killed himself by accident. Sassy got a decent number of forces, lots of heavy tanks mixed into this army, medium tanks for Mangoes, and there's going to be the MCV. I think he's got multiple MCV? No, he's just been moving his MCV around, so not actually... Oh my gosh, Golden Duke, still, he may have found one little area. No, Dynamic does have vision there, so he does know about that MCV. Mango going to be backing his own MCV up for now. The MCV of Splinter going to be heading south. It's kind of going to be going past Sassy and going to be potentially... Okay, the MCV finally going to be going down. Golden Duke is going to survive because Mango is now caught in an engagement with Dynamic, and Dynamic is just crushing him with the sheer number of tanks. Heavy tanks versus medium tanks with a little bit of infantry mixed in, and the MCV has actually survived. Golden Duke, the golden boy of this game, and BikeRush is going to not kill the MCV of Splinter. Oh my gosh, Splinter has somehow actually survived this long in the game, as well as the Golden Duke. Never mind, it looks like Splinter is finally gone. The MCV was captured by BikeRush, and it looks like the Golden Duke, our golden boy, is finally going down as he gets chased by a single tank in the saddest chase of all time. One medium tank. That's it. Alright, Golden Duke is out. Highbike, Jake Wood also dead. Up in the north, Dynamic versus Mangoes, as Mangoes doesn't have the numbers to stand against Dynamic. He's had pretty good economy, he had a pretty good starting position, but he just doesn't have the numbers to stand against heavy tanks. And oftentimes, Red Alert does come down to who can build the most tanks. Looks like ISeeMangos fire-sailed his way out of this game, so it's really going to be coming down to BikeRush versus Dynamic. I have a feeling Sassy is going to get caught in the middle between these two guys, and he'll get wiped out by one of them. Chrono Tank here for BikeRush could potentially put some hurt on Dynamic, as he has, well, it's not a ton of infrastructure, but it is a bit of infrastructure up there, as MCV is down here in the middle of the continent, and for now, it's going to be safe from BikeRush. BikeRush running, I guess, this harvester around the map, potentially looking for crates and just trying to find something to do. Yeah, I feel bad for Sasalek. He's got some trouble brewing. No matter which way he goes, north or south, he's going to have a hard time actually coming out ahead in this game. That harvester is doomed to die as, I don't know what all that fire was, but I guess for now, he's having a hard time actually keeping his economy rolling. There's going to be the... Holy cow. It's actually going to be a nuke and a combo of the Chrono Tag to kill the MCV of Dynamic. The plays from Bike Rush. ISeeMangos, I think someone ran over a crate, and somehow ISeeMangos ended up getting the tank, or is that a disguised tank? What is going on with that tank? But unfortunately for Sasalek, he is going to be under a lot of pressure as Mangos and Dynamic apparently joining forces. And goodbye. I guess that must be Dynamic's tank, but it's colored red for some reason. And that will be it for Sasalek. He had a good run, but that is done for him in this game. Goodbye, Sasalek. And now it's Bike Rush medium tanks versus heavy tanks, and look who finally decided to show up. Will she actually do anything now? Looks like the medium tank's going to be dealing with the refineries, and he's actually just on the run, constantly shifting targets. BikeRushOwnz might be able to do a bit of damage here, even though the medium tanks are having difficulty with the heavy tanks. I'm not sure what is the plan here. He's just distracting Dynamic. And, well, I guess, does he have 2 Tanyas? I guess so. Dynamic only has a handful of buildings left, so even though he's got a stronger army, he's only got a couple of buildings left, which means BikeRushOwnz could just win this without ever having to actually fight the army of Dynamic. With 3 buildings left, he just has to move in here and go for the kill. Tanya going to be coming in from the north, and oh my gosh, the light tanks, or the medium tanks, and Tanya are going to get the kill. Oh my gosh, Dynamic's army was completely circumvented there by BikeRushOwnz. The sneaky, sneaky tactics. I didn't actually realize you could get 2 Tanyas like that. That will do it for this game, as it turns out. Armor doesn't always win the day. Sometimes it's the sneaky tactics that are best. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this free-for-all in Red Alert Remastered. And this is Sybert, signing out.